Yes guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode number 41 of our EAFC 26 Green Mode here with Coventry City. 4 seasons as a manager, our first full season with Coventry City here in the Championship, and we are sitting pretty currently in 5th, but unfortunately if you saw the end of last episode we did lose out and we did exit the Carabao Cup, which means our full focus until January, until the FA Cup rolls around, our full focus is going to be on the league positions. Hopefully we can stay in and around those playoff positions or possibly push higher up in the table and push for that Premier League promotion in our first full season with this great club. And we do kick off this episode away from home in the league, and it is against Queen's Park Rangers, currently sitting 20th in the league, this Queen's Park Rangers side. So on form at the minute it should be ours to win, but obviously we are still early on in the season and no game in the Championship is an easy game, and it was QPR who got the first opportunity of the game there, but a good save from Dovin to push it behind for a corner kick. The corner does come short to Dembele on that right hand side. He gets onto his left foot, gets the ball into Pearman. Pearman has defenders around him but manages to beat 2 of them down the right hand side, gets the cross in, falls towards Kone. We manage to get the clearance in, it falls to Baselli, falls to Saito, falls back to Pearman. Manages a little bit of luck there to beat the defender, gets the ball back from the 1-2, and a great finish from Pearman to put QPR 1-0 up in just the 7th minute. He was involved from the start of that attack and he finished it off with that left foot of his, and Jalen Pearman gets his and QPR's first goal of the game to give them an early 1-0 lead. But we did manage to come back into it fairly quickly. 5 minutes later, Dan James with the ball in, and that man, the ever reliable Jack Rodoni, great form at the end of last season and continuing that into the start of this season, does get the header and knocks that one past the QPR goalkeeper to bring the scores at back level. But unfortunately QPR were going to keep attacking, and a bit of a mistake from the defence there. The defenders couldn't quite clear the ball, it falls to Kone in the end, and a good finish from Kone on his left foot, past Dovin, arrowed into that bottom corner, and he does give QPR their lead back just a couple minutes after we got the equaliser, and 15 minutes into the game Richard Kone does give QPR that 2-1 lead. But again, it was a real back and forth game at the start of this one. Just a couple minutes after that goal from QPR we did get another chance ourselves. Mason Clark with a good header, but this time a good save from the Queen's Park Rangers goalkeeper. And then about 5 minutes later it was QPR once again a mix up with the defence, a ball bobbling around, and QPR did restore or get their 2-goal lead, and it is that man Kieran Morgan who does get QPR's third of the game, and like I say, that does give QPR a 2-goal lead in this one. And just a couple minutes later QPR have the chance of getting their 4th in this game. Kone with a decent chance, but once again Dovin there to keep that one out. But as we approached half time we did start coming back into it, and we did get another good chance with Hadji Wright, and he manages to put a delicate little chip over the QPR goalkeeper. A good assist once again from Dan James, the second assist of the game, and Hadji Wright does manage to get a goal back for us before half time to make the scores 3-2, and that is how we went into half time. But obviously from the second half we wanted to go out strong straight away, and it's Matt Grimes who gets a good shot from range, but another good save from a QPR goalkeeper to keep the scores as they were. And then just a couple minutes later Dan James once again down that right hand side gets the ball across. Rodoni with looks like a clear sight of goal, but unfortunately on his weaker right foot couldn't quite steer it, and it does go wide of a post. But Rodoni was there once again, this time being the man who sets it up to Mason Clark, but unfortunately his shot across the goalkeeper did get pushed wide by the goalkeeper behind for a corner kick. We did make a couple of changes, Sakamoto and Sims coming on for Dan James and Hadji Wright. Hadji Wright obviously got the 1 goal, Dan James with 2 assists, so probably 2 of our best performers in this game coming off. But just wanted to change the dynamic of this one, get some fresh fit players on the team, and Mason Clark made full advantage of that advantage we had, and he does manage to pull us level once again in this game. He had options in the middle, but he decided to arrow it into that corner with his left foot to bring the scores back to 3-3, and now it was just about obviously holding out on this one, hopefully not conceding anymore, and hopefully getting at least a point in this one. But QPR got another really good chance, Saito with a good shot after some good play from the QPR attackers, but a good save from Dovin down to his left hand side to keep that one out. And then just a couple minutes later it's Dembele who picks the ball up on that right hand side. He's got options, he decides to go for a shot himself. Luckily it hits Dovin and we manage to get the clearance away. And then just before the full time whistle it's Mason Clark who does pick the ball up, beats the defender onto his right foot, but unfortunately he couldn't steer a shot on target. It does go wide of the post and the game does finish 3-3. So a point apiece against QPR, but not a bad point based on where we were at points in that game. But before we go into any more action, we do reach deadline day for the summer transfer window, and we do have one more potential signing coming into the club, and it is a big name from the Premier League, from Crystal Palace. Roman Esse, obviously ex-Millwall player, lit up the Championship when he was at Millwall, moves over to Palace but not quite getting the game time he wants over there. So we don't have the funds to get him in permanently. He's only 23 years old, 78 rated, lots of potential on him, a great dribbler as well. We don't have the funds to get him in permanently, but we're looking for a loan deal, and luckily Oliver Glasner and Crystal Palace were happy to do the deal with us. 60-40 split on his wages, and we do get confirmation that Esse has joined us on that 1-year loan until the end of the season. So really good business from us. Going to be a bit of a rotation player really for Mason Clark down at the left hand side. Obviously we've already bought Daniel James in on the right hand side, and Esse can even play in that attacking midfield role as a replacement for Rodoni for fitness purposes as well. So good business all round, and we do get another youngster coming in to the youth academy. Joe Chapman, 61 rated, central midfielder, looking really good with his stats as well. So another good youth player who potentially can join the first team squad later on in this season. But we do go into the second game of the episode, a difficult one, even though we are at home at the CBS Arena. It is against decent West Brom sides. We knew this one was going to be a tricky game. We did make a couple of changes in this one after that 3-3 draw against QPR. Probably most notably the youngster Vivian Charles coming into that back line in centre back alongside Kitchen. So a couple of changes in this one. Ellis Sims starting up front as well. So hopefully the couple of changes we have made can make a difference in this one. And we do get the first chance of the game 20 minutes into this one. It falls to Van Uvik on the edge of the box about 30 yards out. A really nice shot, to be fair. Catches the goalkeeper off guard a little bit, but a good save from Wildsmith in the West Brom goal to keep that one out. But it was us who were really pressing this one. West Brom not really having too many opportunities. And it's Jack Rodoni who does give us the 1-0 lead half an hour into this one. Good play down that left hand side from Mason Clark, falls into Rodoni, and Rodoni gets his second goal in 2 games, sweeps it in with that left foot of his, in off a post to give us that 1-0 lead into half time. But in the second half, West Brom came out strong. Good shot there, but fortunately for us, just wide of a post. And then we did get another chance ourselves. Dan James once again down that right hand side. He's got options, but he decides to go for it himself, gets the shot away with the defenders backing off. But once again, Wildsmith was there to push it around the post for a corner kick. And then we did have a chance to bring on Roman Esse for his debut on that left hand side for Ephraim Mason Clark. So let's see what he's all about. Obviously, Crystal Palace player, like I say, great dribbler of the ball, and we did make a change on the other flank as well, with Sakamoto coming on, should I say, for Dan James as well. And we did get a chance straight away, and the fat man Esse, who we just brought on, gets the ball down the left hand side, plays the ball across. Ellis Sims is there, free on goal with just a couple of yards to play with, and he does manage to give us a 2-0 lead and an assist on his debut just a couple of minutes in after coming on for Roman Esse. So very promising signs from the young Englishman there as well. So a 2-0 lead, one which with just 5 minutes left of this game we should hopefully be able to keep, but West Brom are going to keep coming. A good shot there, but a good save from Dovin. And then just before the full-time whistle, we do get the corner. Kitchen gets a header, really nice header to be fair, cleared off the line by the West Brom defender, falls eventually to another one of the new boys we bought in the summer, Nathan De Cap, but unfortunately his shot whistles over the bar and does go behind for a goal kick. But a good 2-0 win there against West Brom, and it does leave us in the table after 5 games, still early on obviously, but in 6th place in that final playoff position with 10 points. There are a couple of teams up there who obviously haven't lost a game this season, but we're looking fairly healthy in that 6th place position. Like I say, still very early on, fully aware of that, but definitely a good start to the season, definitely one we can build on, and we will try and build that with the 3rd game of this episode. This time we are away from home and we are against Portsmouth, 24th in the league at the minute, Portsmouth, so we knew it was a game we should be winning on paper, but obviously, especially in the Championship, games are not won on paper, so we needed to obviously perform well in this one away from home, and hopefully we could come away with all 3 points. It was Portsmouth who started really well. Down the right hand side, the player looking to beat the defender finds LaRue in the end of the ball falls to, and a nice finish, no defenders putting a foot in, and LaRue does manage to put it on in back of the net to give Portsmouth a fairly early lead just 10 minutes into this one, and one which we knew would set us back a little bit. Hopefully we've got time to come back in this one, but a good start for the home team there. But we did obviously get the chances we wanted in this one. Rodoni plays the ball to Mason Clark down the left hand side, a ball across the box, and Ellis Sims, similar to his last goal in the last game with Roman Esse, this time it's Mason Clark who gets down the left hand side, plays the ball across square, and Ellis Sims was there to put that one away. So obviously we are rotating Hadji Wright and Ellis Sims at the minute, but they are both continuing to score goals, so it's working for us, and long may it continue. But we did start to get a little bit of control of the game at this point, and it's Dan James who does get the shot there, but unfortunately couldn't quite put it in the back of the net, but a really good chance for him. And then just before half time, Portsmouth once again started to attack. Jacob Murphy who gets the ball in the middle of the box, no defenders putting a foot in once again, so really poor defending again, but a really nice finish from Murphy to be fair, into that top corner of his left foot, and he does restore Portsmouth's lead just before half time with a 2-1 scoreline. But going into the second half, we started out strong. Mason Clark gets a really good opportunity, chips ball over goalkeeper, and does pull us back level once again. So just 10 or so minutes into the second half, we have pulled level, which gives us a whole half of football to try and find a winner, and it is that man, the main man from last season, Ephraim Clark, who does get the goal for us. A couple of changes into the next period of the game, Hadji Wright coming on, and also Latabodiere coming on for Van Uvik as well, but unfortunately it was Portsmouth who carried on attacking. It's Murphy once again, and another really good finish from Murphy, his second goal of the game to give Portsmouth a lead for the 3rd time in this game, and another time where we need to come back and hopefully score another equaliser. But a really good goal from Josh Murphy, I've called him Jacob earlier, Josh Murphy, get confused between the two twins, but a good goal from Josh Murphy for his second and Portsmouth's third of the game. But like I say, we obviously wanted to come back and get something out of this game, and luckily we do manage to get the equaliser once again. Good play down the left-hand side from Jack Rodoni, and it's the substitute Hadji Wright. Like I say, him and Sims, whenever they get the chances, they're both scoring goals, making it a difficult selection headache for me, but it's a good goal from Hadji Wright, and then we do decide to make a change. Mason Clark coming off, and Roman Esser coming on once again down that left-hand side, and it's Esser who picks the ball up here on that left-hand side, manages to get the ball on his right foot here. Decent shot from him, to be fair, but a good save from the Portsmouth goalkeeper. So another draw for us, another 3-3 draw, similar to the QPR game. And then obviously sandwiched in the middle of that was the 2-0 win against West Brom. So not a bad couple of games so far. And then we do end this episode with a home game against Watford. Another decent side. We did get a message from Charles saying he's happy with his game time, so we did manage to start him. And we did decide this time to drop Dan James, the new boy, to the bench and bring another new boy in from the start for his full debut for us in Roman Esser, starting him out right hand side, and hopefully his trickery, speed and everything in between can bring us some luck, some skill and a victory in this game. And it is going to be ourselves, no, it's going to be Watford, shall I say, kicking this game off from right to left, the away side, and it is the away side who do get the best chance early on in the game. The ball falls to Doumbia. Dovin comes out, gets caught in a little bit of no man's land, but luckily Doumbia couldn't quite get one on target with the chip and does put it wide of the post. And we got our first chance of the game. Ellis Sims coming through, a really good chance, but a good save from the keeper. He came out quick, got down at Sims' feet, and a good save from the goalkeeper there to keep the scores at 0-0. A couple minutes later we did get another chance. It's Matt Grimes once again. He doesn't mind a shot from the edge of the box, Matt Grimes, and another decent one, but unfortunately a little bit too central, and a good save from the goalkeeper once again. I mean, just before half time it was Watford once again attacking. Really good switch ball into there, and then Vivaldo picks the ball up, but once again Dovin was the man who made the save, made himself big, and it hits him and it goes out behind for a corner kick into the so in the win half time, obviously at 0-0, but unfortunately Watford did take the lead fairly early on in the second half, and it is that man who missed the opportunity at the end of the first half, Vivaldo, who does give Watford the lead. A nice finish from him past Dovin into that bottom corner, but unfortunately a 1-0 lead for Watford at this stage. We did get a chance fairly soon after. Rodoni picks the ball up about 20 yards out, a really nice half volley to be fair, but unfortunately a little bit too much on it, smashes the top of the crossbar and comes back out for no further danger. And then Watford did manage to get their second goal of the game. He was caught out a little bit earlier, which luckily for us went wide. This time the ball did go in back of the net, and Doumbia gets his first goal of the game, chipping that ball over Dovin and giving Watford a 2-0 lead. So Watford are fairly comfortable at this stage, but we obviously wanted to make life difficult for them. Mason Clark gets the ball down the left hand side, Sims gets the ball in the middle of the box, but unfortunately a difficult header for him, and it does go straight down the keeper's throat. And we did make a couple of changes. Dan James and Sakamoto both coming on. We did actually decide to play Rodoni up front at this point as a striker. Dan James going on that right hand side, Sakamoto onto the left, and Roman Esser coming on in that attacking midfielder. And we got a chance fairly soon after that with Rodoni, but unfortunately keeper saved it, and we did end up losing that game 2-0. So a loss, a win, and 2 3-3 draws in this episode. So a bit of an up and down episode, but not too shabby at all at the start of the season. But that is going to bring this episode to an end. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you are following this journey. Drop a comment down below for any suggestions. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.